Hey, howdy everyone, Masu here, back in action for more Parental Revelation Attraction. That's right, it's April 6th, 4:51 p.m. outside Grand Tower, temporary film lot. John, that guy was my dad. Found out about his own birth so suddenly. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I've always been searching for my dad. John, I get it, alright? He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. But we even met face to face during the filming. So then why? Huh? Why did he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. Mom, you don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, this is all my fault. Yesterday I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. My dad, and those flowers that my mom carefully grew. John! Please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay? Bond between a parent and child. That's the meaning behind lion lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Sangfa. And we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Ling, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, you're right. The recreation of the past has finished. Were your father's deductions correct? The old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So, who knows if they were right or not? In that case, what about your own deductions? I know I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation. In order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back. Real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man discovered. Truth of the SS5 incident. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. That stub toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marshall. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower pits, and a fake photo was taken. Was that really what happened 12 years ago? However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get. It's this. Why do they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all the trouble and even make the president take part in the photo? That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deduction, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I like to hear deductions as well. It's a rebut! Alright, we gotta just press all of this, honestly. Agent Ling, I'd like to verify a few things that may have seemed obvious at first glance. Are we certain that the president actually went to the orphanage? Okay, I get it. You're saying you want proof. Everyone's always demanding proof from Mr. Edgeworth, after all. You didn't have to tell him that. Okay, so here's the proof. You mean this stuffed animal, the one with the recording device? That's right. Inside that toy was recorded for John's birth mother, Amy Marsh. Indeed. She said that she would meet with him at midnight. Wow, you two are perfectly in sync. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the layers of a scallion. Okay, a scallion doesn't have anything on the inside. Please don't make such foreboding analogies. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the skin of a wolf. Can you stop making those foreboding analogies? Let's get back on track. Was kidnapped, and Cameron, the person that had a camera on. Hold it. I'd also like to verify the details of this point as much as possible. Mr. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage. Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road. Then the murderer picked up a brick, snuck up on him from behind, and wham! Ah! Hey, we are simply verifying what actually transpired. There's no need to be scared. That was so intense! How the details of this case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Ling, let's carefully verify all the facts of this case. Sheesh. Well, if you're gonna listen, I'll talk as much as you want. If you hadn't been here, probably wouldn't have been a kidnapping or no murder. Uh-huh. If he hadn't been there, you say? That's interesting there. Care to explain in more detail? It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw a kidnapping. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. No blood would have been spilled. You make it sound like it was his own fault for being there. Hey, that's not it. What Agent Ling's trying to say is... Simply, besides Mr. Cameron, there were no other casualties at the crime scene. Oh, is that all? Of course, that's obvious. The person was kidnapped, but... Well, once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound. Sounds like an obvious point. However, something about it bothers me. I may need to reevaluate the evidence once more. You done explaining things to your assistant? Still have one last thing to confirm. I mean, if it's one last thing to confirm, we might as well humor it, right? Hold it. That's also an important point. I'd like to take another good, clean look at the information. Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's start with what Cameron saw before he was murdered. Cameron witnessed the president and the kidnapper in front of the orphanage. However, the culprit wanted to conceal the connection between the incident and the orphanage. That's right. That's why Cameron's original rule of film was disposed of. And a fake photo was taken of them standing outside the grounds of the orphanage. Yes, and Cameron's body was then moved to match the photo. Well, it's becoming clear. The secret that was buried in the snow for 12 years. Is that the truth of the SS5 incident? Mr. Edgeworth, what's the matter? There's still something hidden behind this case. Huh? What do you mean? If there's a piece of evidence that cannot be explained by Agent Ling's theory, as long as there's a contradiction, we'll have to present it in order to advance while reasoning. So, it's already over here that I press it. There wouldn't have been a murder, so just making sure. So we need to go to the fire. Prior to the incident, Child's prank caused the fire's gas leak. No. The letter of the crime scene 12 years ago belonged to someone other than Victor and Cameron. Right there, that's it.
Objection!
If the eyewitness, Cameron, had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there wouldn't have been no need to commit murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large bloodstain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, those bloodstains could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount at that. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, do you have any idea what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe, however. That is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders. You saying that the other murder was covered up? Who? Just who the heck could have been killed? A murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased, and the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one thing. One piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. Wouldn't it be the Musil doll? But specifically, the horn, right? I don't think it would be the shoes. Shows that something happened that night. Are you asleep already? I'm in front of the facility now, but something's not right. Is here of all places, and what's more, crap, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing now. I can't believe it. It almost looks like he's being kidnapped. I thought he'd let you know. He's being kidnapped? That he is not indication of anybody's. I guess it would be Cameron's testimony? I don't think it would be the fake photo. The fake photo is a ruse of what happened that night. Cameron's testimony, however, is loud and clear. The shoes weren't kept consistently. Oh, a child's drawing. This is right here. It's the child's drawing. It's specifically this. Let's go, baby. The other murder incident was burned in the dark by Balze de Beste. However, there's still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang is survived by your father's hands. My old man, say? Please recall, there was one more thing that was hidden along the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Balze make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What's the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. The drawing my old man had. There's the dog, there's the assassin, there's that little thing. It looks like there's blood there, I can't quite tell. And he has flowers. Why does he have flowers? The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. The Muzilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is... it's Sirhan Dogan.
Take that!
A man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Sirhan Dogan. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Oh! Then Miss Rowland and Mr. Balsey were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as a scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination himself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around. You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? We just found this body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right. I mean, we met him ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago, and the president's body was found today, that would imply there were two presidents. So I was partially right. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There's a possibility that there were two presidents. I hate that sentence. That's right. Until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. Even so, I still respect the man. Zhang Fa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. The image of the president hung that Agent Ling described. You are wrong, boy. He revealed his true form. Differs far too greatly from the President Hung we knew. It's as if there were two entirely different people. If there were, in fact, two Zhang Fa presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What makes the existence of two presidents possible? One of them was a body double. The victim looked like the president. No, one of them was a body double. If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then? A body double? President Hong possessed immense power and authority in Zhang Fa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gordy Lake. It's true there were those who sought Hong's life from time to time, but I can't easily believe there were two presidents. At least not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? I probably do. 58. Gunpowder residue was found on his right hand. No, not that. Do I have evidence? 2 nights ago, report shows John practicing by himself. Parked in front of the Grand Tower today. No. Warren. Hayes files. Not that. Reporter Knisley. I don't think there is. A ring and chest. A ring? What is that ring of? I think that ring would be part of it, but I can't see it from there. Was planted inside. A recording of what was intercepted from the bug. No. Had an appointment at midnight. John Cameron was a witness. He was removed. I'm not seeing anything that rightly shows it. I'm sure there is. Gained with Cameron's blood, so that wouldn't be it. I don't think that would be it either. Prior to the incident, child's no. Is it the victim's shoes? I think it's the victim's shoes. Because this isn't nothing. It's a mysterious bloodstain. I guess that technically would be it too. A child's drawing. But I don't think you would have that. You would physically have the victim's shoes though. Child's drawing. The letter wouldn't be it. Combination lock wouldn't be it. The body and the muscles difference? No. I'm gonna go with the shoe.
Take that!
Oh no, it wasn't the shoe! It wasn't the shoes, baby! So, would the blood be it then? Because I think the blood could do it. If only we knew that the president was in 2 different places at the same time. Then we could prove that there were 2 people. Let's look at the evidence. Reorganize the incident again. How could there have been 2 Mr. Hunts? As I suspect, it's impossible. If you want to say there were 2 people, show me the proof. Okay. So we need, like, locational evidence. That is the case. I don't think I have that per se. I'm not able to lock it out, it seems like. Because I think the ring is his, philosophically. Dogen's chess partner. The thing that gets me is that, like, oh no, Dogen would want to, like, have these people on the outs because he wants his assassination attempts to be true. It wouldn't be the reporter. No. It wouldn't be the bloodstain. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? I don't know. Because it's a locational thing that he's asking now, and I don't get that. It says it's from K, but no one. No. First new movie in 12 years. I don't think there's anything to do with that. It wouldn't be the commemorative photo. That's just to show how it was before facts. It wouldn't be this. That's not a locational thing. The president was never seen coming down. I don't think that'd be it. The original Muzilla design last night likely fell in the studio. Can record and play back audio. We don't need that. To dig up the ransom money? Now it's changed to ransom money. Huh. Was that what it was supposed to be? 2 nights ago, the president never passed through the 51st floor storeroom. It wouldn't be it. No. Marching from the Grand Tower today, the driver wasn't inside. He was warned. The case file. Dover's body was discovered. There are no clues to whereabouts at Dover's son or them. So, report on Knightley's thing. I don't see anything for Knightley. I just don't. The problem is specifically he's asking for locational evidence, and I don't think I have that. The Xingfa Din Hong was kidnapped on February 10, 12 years ago. The kidnappers demanded confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was the Xingfa in Basti until midnight. It's literally here. President had an appointment at midnight at the courtyard of the orphanage to be... Wait. Until midnight. So he wouldn't be able to get here at the courtyard. He would have to be one or the other. He couldn't do both.
Take that!
Has Agent Ling not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it and can't care to admit it? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. However, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Ling's father. So, Agent Ling, you really did not notice. Oh, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. Then, which of the two was the real president on that day 12 years ago? Most likely the one who died. Who? Who contracted Dogen to murder Hogun? In order to learn that, first, we must have a look at the evidence that we provided was false earlier. And the piece of evidence we know to be false is... well, this is a picture.
Take that!
The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who was the president pictured in the fake photo? You must consider him to be the body double. In other words... no. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Trisha Rowland and Bolze must have cooperated in that plan. Hold it! Hong's body was never found. Where could it have disappeared to?
Objection!
The answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was. There's no way that could be the case. He is ripped, though. Oh, but he looks frozen. If he looks frozen, and we were found in an ice place. Wait, what does it say? April 5th, around 11 p.m. I don't believe that's the actual time of death.
Take that!
Oh, no, it's not? Okay. Okay, fine, whatever. But I thought that would have been a cool fucking twist as fuck! And then I would have been fully correct! But what was the person responsible doing here? If I think about it, I'm sure to know the location of the president's body. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, when did the president's body disappear to? Maybe you really don't have an answer for that. No, Agent Ling, the answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was. Where was his body? It could have been in... It could have been in the blue truck. I mean, I guess he technically could burn a body, but that wouldn't quite make sense, right? I don't think it's that, because they would have found a dead president in there. Actually not that apparent, Edgeworth. I don't know why you're saying that it's apparent. Because, like, I was thinking Dover's body, like, the fact that he was discovered, like, basically frozen, right? I'm guessing they buried the body? That thing we laid to rest in front of the flower bed 12 years ago. You simply must retrieve it. So I'm gonna guess it's this.
Take that!
No, it's not that! Ugh! But that... It's definitely, like, what it could be. So where was the body? If it wasn't him, if we didn't get, like, another one, and it wasn't that, the only other thing I could think of is the fire, specifically, like the fire burning the body. But you would still have, like, bones, effectively, and that would still leave me down to the other one. So I don't know where the real presidential body is, per se. You're making it a little confusing. It could have been buried, but, like, even when you fire on something, it would do that. It wouldn't make much sense otherwise. A ring and chessboard found inside the safe. That wouldn't be it. 2 nights ago, they didn't dig up. Like, it would make sense for a body to be digged up, but anything else is a conundrum to me. Fire's all I got.
Take that!
Yeah. I don't know. This is the place that the real president was killed. This is the place? Furthermore, what was the person responsible doing here? If I think about that, I'm sure I should know the location of the president's body. Maybe you really don't have an answer for that. I don't know what it is. It's a little confusing. It wouldn't be the Grand Tower. Because the Grand Tower, so saving a president for as long as that, basically doing a kidnapping, doesn't make a lot of sense. I thought the report on Knightley with the whole entire flower bed 12 years ago, the thing that we laid to rest, that would make sense, right? I know bodies have a tendency to stink, but I imagine dirt would cover a lot of the smell. And if you put it in your plants, it would digest it. So that was my thinking, but obviously that's a little bit too much of what we need to go around and fizzle out. I don't think there's a right answer for this, but the fact that I can't leave indicates there is. This is where the real president's body was. The real president. Not the fire. Maybe this, the mysterious bloodstain. But that wouldn't make too much sense. It's better than what I got, because that's just whatever. It wouldn't be the Mozilla's head. The blue truck is the other thing. The driver wasn't inside. It doesn't say anything else. There's nothing else suspicious about it. Shows John practicing by himself. Monsters for first to be seen. President never passed through the 51st floor. And then we have this. And this just shows the master incident in particular. So that's whatever. It's not that. The ring has not been established as anything in particular. Maybe the bug? By the person in the red hood. No. Bouquet of lion lilies Judge Courtney gave the president, found on top of the body by John. Used by Kay and John when they were adopted. The brand name is Sleepy ZZZ. 12 years ago, the president was kidnapped and a witness was killed. No. Bludgeoned to death, Cameron's body, fake photo, Jill's thing. I'm not sure if I hit the fire or if I hit this, but sure. No, it wasn't. So, because I couldn't get that, let's just go ahead and figure what the fuck that is. So I'm annoyed at this. I'm annoyed specifically because I had the right idea of where it was, but because they didn't let me do it in the way that I wanted, for the indication of him being buried here, it's supposed to be the monster's footprint. So they did Ballsy dig up the ransom money, and I was like, okay, maybe it's the ransom money then, on top of the fact that it rejected the other part of it, where it was just like her saying to Ballsy, dig it up. But apparently this is it.
Take that!
Last night, there was something Ballsy had to unearth with his own two hands. You see what I'm saying? Bullshit. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. Ah, so Ballsy unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What do you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot, and that was the deadline. Both for the movie and retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lake, let us search the footprints that Ballsy dug up. Yeah. The body was buried there. There be traces of it. Hey! Somebody call forensics! I have the results of the search! We found traces of the dirt that suggests a body was buried here. So it was hung after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains of Ballsy the Beste dug up. They were in his home. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records, and the body fractures all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Hung. So the real President Hung was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS5 incident was a murder. Whoops! So the SS5 incident was actually a murder incident? But there's so much information, it's way too confusing. Indeed. Let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago, the true President Hung visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the president at that time. President Hung was supposed to meet his son there. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Sirhan Dogan. Came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. How horrible. A man like Dogan shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed. Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogan, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment. from the orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had come to meet up with Balze and Miss Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. I've already figured it out how we'd accomplish that. There's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What the body double used to move the body without leaving any footprints. The shoes? Oh, because he could walk through those shoes to there.
Take that!
It's almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him in the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time. But he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president. Ah, so the shoes were the same. There would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I got a pretty good idea on the SS5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? As Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident, he saw the president at the orphanage. He left behind witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Balze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. That's why they repaired the fake kidnapping charade. The people in the fake photo are the body double and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? You have to leave orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprints. Ah, so the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed. We originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Balze's feet. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination.